Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Saturday the 6th. What I've done here is just left the overnight chart on. You can see how this high pressure is beginning to slip away, and overnight the isobars are sort of starting to come together. The predicted midday chart is showing them quite a bit closer. So the wind is definitely picking up from yesterday, where it was at times light and variable on the ground. Something up to sort of 15 knots probably on the ground today. And we've got this approaching warm front. This is sort of midday. Currently it's well out in the Irish Sea. There's not a great deal of rain on it, but it might sort of perk itself up as the day goes on and get to us. I think when it's dark, that might put a bit of a dampener on any fireworks celebrations that people have got this evening. The TAFs, it's always a good sign when the Farnborough TAF is short. It's quite simple and straightforward. 248 knots, so 8-10 knots seems to be what some models are showing. A little bit stronger on others, and scattered at 3.5. There's upper cloud at the moment, above 5,000 feet, and that slowly will be thickening up, I think, coming and going a bit to start off with, but then thickening up as the day goes on and the front gets a bit closer. And they're saying temporary between 8 and 9, 8,000 meters and rain. You'll see that in a second on the rainfall. There was a tiny little line of rain that went through, so not really a lot. Gatwick shows what's going to happen late on, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, wind increasing tonight, 15 gusting 25, and then the rain coming through. Late on, rain and drizzle past about 7 o'clock. So upper winds, interestingly, they have picked up definitely in the channel, 25 knots, 250, 260, so almost west. And in the center of the country, they're sort of 30 to 40 knots, 240, 250. So it's got a west-southwesterly sort of general feel to it, stronger in the center of the country. So we're in between the two. I'm expecting somewhere around 30 knots probably over us by midday at flying heights. So pretty fresh. That's for sure. SatPic just shows lots of cloud. The infrared showing all the upper stuff you can see. If you look out the window now, you're outside. This is associated with the warm front, which is actually sat right over here at the moment, a long way to the northwest of us. And this will just thicken up as the day goes on. Rainfall radar. There's this little thin line of rain that Farnborough were talking about. And then the real stuff is right out the other side of Ireland. It's showers over Wales and Ireland at the moment. And these still just tend to disappear as they track a bit further east. I think we'd be very, very unlucky to see a shower today. But we will see, as I say, the thickening cloud and the onset of rain by the evening. Temperature-wise, probably about the same as yesterday, looking at the temperatures, but going to feel a little bit chilly in the wind compared to yesterday. So 11, 12 degrees, I think it's about right. It's from a reasonably pleasant direction, westerly, certainly not a northerly wind. And Top Meteo are suggesting the same sort of thing. There's the frontal system lying over Ireland at sort of 10 o'clock. And we're quite clear we've got some upper cloud here. As it says there, above 2,000 feet layered cloud. And it just sort of rolls through, occasional bright spells, and probably starts thickening up in the afternoon. And May, you might start to get lowering cloud base late afternoon, and that might stop us a little bit early. And by sort of 7 o'clock, we're getting to the edge of the rain probably coming down here. So little chance of thermal soaring today. Certainly Top Meteo are not giving any thermal forecast, but it should be a flyable day, a bit breezy. So something to watch out for. Thickening cloud later in the day, but more or less not quite straight down the airfield, got some southerly component to it. So airspace wise, seems rather crowded on the chart here, but all these little things are firework displays. They've got to note them, because some of them go up to 500-600 feet, especially inside airspace. Outside of that, number 9 is the usual stuff at Southampton hours of operation, just slightly amended from their normal, but it's daylight hours. Number 14 is Middle Wallop, there's gliding activity there. 15, high intensity radio transmissions at Boscombe Down. And number 18 is no danger area crossing service. Number 35 here is a small, says air show air display. It's probably just one aircraft doing a little air display in some little village just south of Benson, and parachuting at Little Risington, which has been NOTAM'd all weekend. And that really is about it. Quite quiet in our area here. It's not to say we won't see transiting aircraft. And speaking of aircraft, we've got 2 jet movements, both scheduled for 10 o'clock. And I've been seeing flight plans pinging through fairly regularly this morning. One is definitely inbound from Lithuania, and that should be, in theory, somewhere around 10 o'clock. And there's another one which is to be advised. Haven't seen a flight plan for that yet, so I think it'll be not on the runway until after the jet movement has taken place, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So I'm not on the airfield today. Ed Lockhart is running the airfield, so setup will be down to him. It's either going to be on 2.7 or 2.3, depending on how he views the wind at the time. The grass is dry, perfectly landable. It's quite firm all over the airfield, apart from the very southerly tip of the airfield where it's still a bit waterlogged, as it always is down there in the winter. Okay, so looking out the window, I think start getting the kit out, and it should be a good day for training.